This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
Okay, we're recording, you guys. This is what you can look forward to on episode 134 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Okay, just to let you know, the whole cruise, I'm going to be calling this the Disney Oneater.
The Oneaters.
That's the wonders.
I'm on a boat.
Oh, we're getting in there.
I know.
We're getting in there.
I know.
I can guarantee you that. You call Secret Squirrel and have him usher us out, but we're getting in there.
Yep.
I'm on a boat.
Well, we're going to talk about a time when me and Jango Fett arm wrestled.
One week I wore a streak of clothes from Baby Jawa.
There was no podcast soundtrack because we're the first ones in history.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hello, Skywalkers.
Listen. Up to Neverland.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Wow.
You are skywalking through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! Welcome to Skywalking Through Neverland. We are the family-friendly Disney and Star Wars podcast that brings you fun-filled stories from the creators and fans. And a big thanks to our family of Skywalkers, many of which are watching us on Periscope right now.
Yeah, and giving us little hearts. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. And the Skywalkers who listen to the show every week and post on our Facebook group or just spread and share the positivity about our adventure through fandom. I am Richard, and now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah, who is keeping us in shape for the upcoming marathons.
Ooh, that's right. Yes, so I'm going to be running a half marathon this weekend, but coming up, we are going to be running the Doctor Strange 10K in November.
Yes.
Exciting. So we've been going to the gym.
And then in January we have another Star Wars marathon, but we'll give those dates very shortly in our Cliff's Notes countdown.
Okay, yes we will. Well, I want to welcome all of you Skywalkers to the show. Thank you so much for listening and tweeting while you listen. We love that. We are at Skywalking Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and we love it when you tweet at us during the show.
Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California on August the 31st, 2016. Now, I always mark this day as the last day of summer because it's August 31st. Now, tomorrow, whenever you hear a burr at the end of a month, like September, October, November, December, those are the cold months.
Okay,
So
but not June, July, August.
Those are not cold months.
And April. Well, April's kind of cold
tomorrow
sometimes.
will start the really chilly months of the year, and I love that. I love from tomorrow to the end of the year.
Yes, we love bundling up in our cold clothes.
Hey, we missed the Periscopers last
week. Yeah, the Scope Walkers.
We missed all you Scope Walkers last week because we recorded a classic Marvel Star Wars comics with Randy Martinez. So glad to have you back. And wow, that show is doing gangbusters in the download department.
Yeah, so thank you, Skywalkers, if you've been sharing the show. I don't know what's happening, but the downloads have been skyrocketing.
The shows have always done very well for the classic Marvels, but this last week, maybe people just missed us.
Yeah,
so they wanted to catch us one way or another. But what you can catch on this week's episode is we get some updates from Randy Crane on the Skywalking Through Neverland / Stories of the Magic podcast cruise coming September 2017.
Yeah.
Now, we just also learned that there is a great possibility that there could be a Halloween tie-in to this cruise.
Oh my goodness.
So it's nothing confirmed just yet. But seeing how Disney start their Halloween campaigns and promotions like in June, and they start all of their merchandising at the middle of August. So there's a good chance that they're going to have a Halloween tie-in in September.
Yes.
Oh, so excited. But nothing is confirmed on that just yet. But listen to all the updates on our segment with Randy Crane.
And maybe you'll get excited enough to join us, Skywalkers.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Still time to join.
All right. Now, also on this episode, we have James Floyd. He is featured in our 0.5 Past Lightspeed segment, where he goes in depth about his Wear Star Wars Every Day 2016 charity campaign and how you can help.
Yeah, I love it when the Star Wars fans all band together and help each other with charity campaigns.
Yes.
Love it. And David Aicher shares a Skywalker story. Plus, we have shout-outs, a Skywalker of the week, and things we want to share. But first, we have a contest winner.
A contest winner?
Yeah, we posted a video I shot of Kenny Baker at the Men Behind the Masks convention in '94. And at some point in the video, Kenny forgets a name of a crew member, and I yell it out. So the contest was, what is the name I yell out?
Oh.
And one person came the closest.
Okay. Okay.
Now, the winner of this contest is Carol Cantwell. She yelled it out, John Stair. The name is John Steers, but I listened to the video and there's
like
some
John
fuzzy a fuzzy line between John Steers and John Stair. So you know what? She came the closest. So Carol, the prize goes to you. Is that you right there?
Oh my goodness, FSCMC.
All right, Carol. Well, you won.
Congrats, Carol.
So go ahead and send us your information, your address, and we'll send you a little prize pack there. And
yeah.
Let us know if you favor the Disney or Star Wars prizes, because we have bins right back over
both.
there of
Yes.
tons of stuff. So we want to make sure that you get what you want.
And then make sure you email us, share@skywalkingthrough.neverland.com. Yay. Well, that's exciting. And she happened to be watching on Periscope right there.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
and
cool.
Russ Flores, who also listened to our episode on Kenny Baker, and I had said I'd love to see footage of Kenny Baker inside of the little R2 outfit, trying to get his movements down. And I didn't know there was actual footage of this, but Russell took it to task, and he sent over some footage of Kenny Baker trying to waddle his way inside of this R2-D2.
Suit.
Suit, costume,
I know, it's not
outfit,
really,
droid, bin.
Bucket.
Yeah. So thank you, Russell Flores, for that video I have never seen before.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Now, speaking of contests, let's do another foreign dub contest.
Oh.
Now, here's a clip of a foreign dub of a Star Wars or Disney film, and the one that tweets the answer first wins the honor of getting it first.
So they get bragging rights.
Yes, exactly right.
Awesome.
So here is this clip. Could be a Disney movie, could be a Star Wars movie. Let us know what you think.
Og mother kemst otroliga langt á. Ha!
Now that you've heard it, let us know the movie, scene, and the language, if you can.
Yes.
We'll give you a slide on the language, but if you can give us the movie and the scene, tweet at us.
At Skywalking Pod.
And now, here is Cliff's Notes Countdown.
Cliff's Notes.
Cliff Note Countdown.
Cliff's Notes. Cliff's Notes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cliff's Notes.
So this is Cliff's Notes Countdown as of today, August the 31st.
Okay.
So, number 1, Halloween.
Woohoo!
Not the movie, but the holiday.
We love Halloween, October 31st, of course, and there are 61 days until Halloween.
Yay! Now let's move on to Doctor Strange, the next big Marvel film, which comes out November 4th, 2016. So excited for this movie.
Yes.
This comes out 65 more days.
Okay. All right. So only 65 more days. That's going to whip by. And shortly after that is the Superheroes Half Marathon, in which we are running the Doctor Strange 10K. So that's happening on November 12th. So Doctor Strange, the movie, comes out November 4th. We're running the 10K on November 12th. So there's only 72 days until then.
Right. But the whole Superheroes Half Marathon begins on November the 10th.
Right. Like the weekend.
Yeah, if you're going to do the kids marathon or the 5K, that starts in 71 days.
Yeah.
Have we seen the Doctor Strange medal?
Have we?
I'm
you know
sure
what?
by
I've
this
got to
point.
look it up. I've got to look it up. But Disney has also decided to make their 5K medals actual metal medals.
Oh, good.
Yes.
As opposed to that rubber,
the flimsy
that
rubber
bends.
colored rubber. Yes.
Yeah.
Which we love. So that's exciting.
Oh, and someone just
Michael
scoped
Nip.
in here
Michael
and said Netflix's Luke Cage begins September 30th, which is the next spinoff, the next Marvel spinoff on Netflix. First we
Oh.
had Daredevil, Then we had Jessica Jones.
Okay.
And now we have Luke Cage.
Luke Cage is the black man who owns that bar?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Michael Knipp was the one who told us that. So thank
thanks.
you, Michael.
Well,
Wow.
add that in. I didn't know it was coming that soon.
And Joey Pittman says, I can run the 5K races now. The medals before sucked. Yes, we agree, Joey. Oh, that's cute. Well, that's exciting. And, well, okay, so next on our list, we jump to December. What's happening December this year? Huh.
A little movie called Rogue One, a Star Wars Story.
Right smack in the middle of December.
Yeah, thanks, Disney.
December 16th. I think they liked their 2 weeks of everyone having vacation.
Yeah.
And everyone going $30 million every day for, The Force Awakens. Okay.
So that was December 16th, 2016. That's only 107 more days.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
Once again, gonna whip by.
Joey Pittman says perhaps an episode 8 trailer.
Yeah, it's rumored it's going to be debuting that week, or it should be debuting with. Well, I would say that let's have it debut with Doctor Strange and have it work its way up, because why put two big things out like Rogue One and the episode 8 trailer at the same time, where you could really maximize your commercial dollar.
Right.
By spreading them out. What they should have done is maybe do like a teaser trailer for Pete's Dragon, because unfortunately that movie's not doing well.
Oh no, really?
Well, not at all. Under $60 million. That's just not good for a movie like Pete's Dragon. So they really should have tied in a trailer with that.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And then we move into 2017.
Yes. And right away, we have the Star Wars Half Marathon Weekend. So we are excited about that. That's always around Richard's birthday, which is January 16th. Well, this year, the Star Wars Half Marathon Weekend is happening January 13th through 15th. So it's actually just missing your birthday.
By one day.
I know, but we will still have a birthday meetup, of course.
Yes, we will. That's 135 more days to get in marathon shape. Well, not for you. You got one this weekend.
I do. But it's all good.
And then we have another big Disney release with Beauty and the Beast on March the 17th, a week after your birthday, sweetie.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
Starring Hermione Granger.
Guess what we're going to do for my birthday. Guess what we're going to do. I'm excited.
Well, we're going to see this a week after your birthday.
Yes, but that will be like probably my birthday event.
Okay.
I like celebrating birthdays around movies. It's just fun. I did that in 97 with the re-release of Star Wars.
So you'll have a birthday month.
I did that with Tangled, and I'm doing that with Beauty and the Beast.
All right.
Well,
198 more days until Beauty and the Beast, which means 191 more days until your next birthday. All right, then comes Celebration Orlando.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, hold on. This just in.
Michael Knipp says Moana, of course, on November 23rd. Whoops. Yes, we did forget about that.
Yeah, that movie's just not on my radar.
Oh. Well, it is on mine, although when I saw the recent trailer, I was very confused by it. It didn't excite me as much as I thought it would. But I'm excited, of course, to see this movie, because any new Disney animated film, especially one with a story we don't really know about, is exciting.
All right. Michael just added to the list.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
He says anything with the Rock. Oh,
all right.
Yes.
So let's move back to Celebration Orlando, which is happening the weekend of April 13th through the 16th, Easter weekend. Join us for our Hujib Hop. Now, this is going to be 225 more days. Boy, those numbers used to scare me a couple of years ago, but there's so much going on between these big events.
Oh, yeah.
That 225 days, yeah, I can sit still for that.
Absolutely.
And then we come up to another big Marvel release with Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Awesome.
And I'm really excited about this. This comes out May the 17th, 2017. And this should tie right in with the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout ride.
Right.
See you later, Twilight Zone.
Now, Scott Rifen is asking us on Periscope, are we doing the Star Wars Half Marathon Dark Side in April at Walt Disney World? And unfortunately, since it's the week after Celebration Orlando, which we're already skipping a weekend of work to do that, we cannot stay that long away from our job, since it's our job that, we run it ourselves. So we can't be away from the business that long.
Well, if anyone out there is going to go to the Star Wars Dark Side Challenge and wants to report for us.
Oh, yes.
That would be great.
We love that. And probably
Talk to the boss.
Trisha Barr, I'm sure, will be there. That's a fun one for her. She'll do her 5K thing.
Yeah, I'm so glad you Scope Walkers are joining us because there's some things we forgot to add. All right, now let's move on to Disney's D23 Expo.
Yes, that is happening July 14th through 16th, 2017 in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Woohoo! So we will definitely be there, even though it's the middle of July.
Oh, I didn't even notice the middle of July. They moved it.
Yeah. However, because it's the middle of the July on the weekend, actually, that works for us.
Okay. Good point.
Yes.
All right, now that is 317 more days.
And possible Star Wars Land reveals at that expo. Very exciting.
We just said someone on Scope, on Periscope, on one of our Scope Walkers just said there might be some reveals.
She was the one who won.
Good. Carol Cantwell.
Yes.
Hey, Carol, are you related to Colin Cantwell, one of the original designers for Star Wars? I see your name pop up, and I've always wanted to ask you that. So let us know. But we're going to let you know now about Star Wars Episode 8.
Woohoo! All right.
This is happening December 15th, 2017. This is going to be 471 more days, and yet these numbers don't scare me anymore.
No. And Carol says she wishes, but she does not.
But you know what? You're just as special.
Yes.
All right, now, Wreck-It Ralph 2 comes to theaters March 9th. A day before your birthday, sweetie.
Woohoo!
2018.
Okay.
And that's 555 more days.
I'll be in officially my late 30s at that point, I think.
So that means 556 more days until your birthday in 2018, where you're going to be 29 again.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
All right. A few more to go here. The Young Han Solo movie, May 25th, 2018.
Are you excited that a movie is coming out May 25th?
Yes. Well, until it comes out May 25th, I won't be excited that it comes out May 25th.
Okay.
Because we've heard this one before.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It is Star Wars Day. See, that's who said
Carol,
Star Wars?
that's
Carol? Yeah, that is the actual Star Wars Day.
Mm-hmm.
And now that is 632 more days.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, these are starting to hurt now.
Yes, especially Star Wars Episode 9. Which is coming out May 24th, 2019. And hopefully in between those two dates, we will have the opening of Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
Because according to Trisha Barr, who was at that engineering conference and she took a backstage tour, they mentioned, at least right now, that Star Wars Land is scheduled to open at Disneyland late 2018. You guys, late 2018. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Details to follow.
Yes. Now, that's not confirmed at all. That's just what the plans are right now. And as with any kind of building things, that could change depending on weather, depending on what. But anyway.
Right. But it seems pretty
solid.
Quote unquote.
Yes.
Solid.
Yeah.
So, which Skywalkers are going to be out here that weekend with us? Star Wars party galore. And I'm sure they're going to have some overnights. Like 24-hour Star Wars parties.
Oh my God.
Yeah, got to work on this. All right. Now, Star Wars Episode 9, in case we didn't mention it already, 996 more days.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so that wraps up our Cliff's Notes countdown. And like we said, all these dates are subject to change. And when they do, we will let you know. All right, now let's move on to things
we want to share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
We have an announcement.
The Skywalking Through Neverland Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1 by Rob Dellinger was just released on cdbaby.com.
Now, the full digital release will be next week on iTunes, Amazon.com, and any digital music service provider you can pretty much think of.
But now we could talk about it all we wanted, or we can get Rob Dellinger on the line here with us.
Awesome.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, we are excited that we are now the only podcast that has a soundtrack.
Yeah, and it's all because of you. Yeah.
We're making
well,
history.
that we are. Now, what makes you so excited about the soundtrack? When we first discussed it a few months ago, what made you really, really excited?
Well, anytime I make music, I always think about, okay, what else can we do with this? I'm just always thinking of ideas. And from the very beginning, I thought it would be cool to have a jingle album. But I didn't really say anything because I was just so busy doing jingles and Skywalkers of the Week and all the other musical projects I'm in. But then later, when some of the listeners started requesting it, then I really got excited because I thought, we're on the same wavelength. And so that kind of gave me the motivation to get on it and put together the album.
All right, now talk about what went into the making of the Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1 by Rob Dellinger.
Okay, well, first of all, we had so many jingles that I had recorded for the podcast over the last couple years. I went through and, of course, consulted with you guys and decided which ones we were going to put on. Now, we decided to put most of the jingles, unless they were part of a spin-off podcast like Talking Apes TV or Classic Marvel Star Wars comics. And then also there was a couple other ones for legal reasons that we left off. But so that was the first process, or was part of the process, was grabbing all those files. And then I didn't want to change them because I want them to sound the way they do on the podcast. But I did just do some minor quote unquote mastering of them to just try to spiff them up slightly. But pretty much it's a collection, just like you would hear it on the podcast. And I like that because sometimes I would find an album of old TV show themes, and I liked it when they had that sound just like when it aired on TV, even if it had that little crusty air in the background.
Yeah, I used to hate getting those TV soundtrack albums, and each one was different than what you hear on TV. Oh, that ticked me off. So I'm so glad to hear that you didn't re-record these.
Right, because as the maker George Lucas says, a work of art is never finished; it's just abandoned. And so that's I sort of felt that way about the jingles because I would do them so quickly. And I would just think, if I could re-sing that, or, if I could add the trumpet, or, if I could, really change the volume. But then I realized that would ruin it. So I didn't do that. But we made the collection. Then we we pulled together, we culled thousands of hours of listeners singing the jingles for us. And we picked the top few.
Sarah, I really hope we make it. I really hope we made the cut. I really hope we made the cut.
Let's go into how many tracks this album has.
Wow.
Okay. So let's see. I think there are 23 tracks. Let me double check here.
On CD Baby, there are 22, and that includes the Skywalkers Sing bonus track.
Right.
And you know what? Looking over some of these track names, I didn't realize we had a Disney Valentine.
Yeah.
It's Skywalking time for a Disney Valentine.
I forgot that we had a Skywalking through Spooky Land.
Through Neverland.
And then we also have you been paying attention?
Yeah.
Apparently we haven't. No.
Yeah, I was looking at that one going, wait a minute, what?
That
was from the Celebration podcast stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some that didn't get played as many times as others.
Right. Yeah. And a Celebration news flash. That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about some of these.
This will be exciting. So when you buy the soundtrack, Skywalkers, you will be kind of going through a trip through memory lane.
Yeah. And what I did was after I picked all the tracks, I decided to spiff it up. One thing we'll talk about in a minute, I guess, in more detail, was the bonus track.
Yes.
Another thing was I thought it might be fun to put on something that was never released. So for people who listen to it all the time, I put on, I think it's an alternate concept for the news flash for the celebration, because there's one that we used, but there was a first one that I submitted, but the offices at Hey Hey Entertainment wanted a different approach. So I thought it might be fun to just stick that alternate one on there, something they've never heard before.
So it's kind of like the 97 release of the Star Wars albums, where you have the alternate binary sunset track, and you're like, whoa, that would have been way different.
Exactly.
So there you have it. So Celebration News Flash track 14, Skywalkers, check it out. But let's get into this bonus track now. Now we had our Skywalkers submit themselves singing jingles. So how did you go about compiling everyone's?
Well, there were so many different possibilities of how to go about creating a track that would incorporate everyone. Anything from auto tuning people and making a song. But then, I thought it's more enjoyable to hear people the way they actually sounded. So what I did was I just created a long sort of drum beat, and I would kind of fade it out and have a person come in and then fade back in, sort of like on a montage on, say, American Idol, where they might have different people doing things. They'll fade in and out and feature the people, but stream it together with a little background music. So it's very fun to listen to. I think everybody will enjoy it.
Things we want to share, do 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 do. Things we want to share, do 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 do.
Be our guest, be our guest, put our podcast to the test. Gather round the microphone and we will do the rest.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that.
That's exciting.
Is that track going to be exclusive to any one site?
No, actually, it'll be wherever you purchase that album, it'll be part of it.
Nice.
Okay. Now, the category on cdbaby.com has your album in the bubblegum pop genre. Did you select that?
Well, I'll say this. They didn't have any categories that even remotely described what was on the album. So I was looking for maybe novelty or TV and film.
You mean there was no podcast soundtrack categories?
There was no podcast soundtrack because we're the first ones in history.
Wow.
So I picked pop, and then there was absolutely nothing that fit, and because it's not even pop really. And then so I did like nostalgia, easy listening, bubblegum pop, and fun mood,
Well, I love bubblegum pop. It's so monkeys.
Yeah. Wow.
So what's going to be left to do for Volume 2? And I guess we can put some of the alternate takes because, like you were saying earlier, you would say, hey, guys, this is what I have. And I would say, that's great, but can you change this, and this?
Yeah, I figure for Volume 2, we'll probably have new jingles. In fact, I'm about to work on one for you guys that you wanted by next week. So there'll be new material and then, alternates. And then there's also the spin-off podcast themes that we have, like Step in Time and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
right on. Whenever we go to Disneyland and they have those projections during the fireworks and we hear the Step in Time music, I'm always singing your jingle.
Step in time, step in time. Remembering Disney's matinee movie.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited about this and that it's out there in the world and people can actually purchase this and help support you.
Thank you. Yeah. And then I wanted to also mention in the introduction, there is, of course, we have the two of you introducing it. And then also my kids as well. You'll hear them.
Oh,
yay.
And a special shout out to my sweetie wife, Sarah, for the artwork on the cover.
Oh,
yes, exactly.
Right.
Very awesome. It looks great.
Yeah, well, it sounds great, and we are so excited to share it with our Skywalkers. Now, let's remind the Skywalkers that you can purchase this for $7.99 anywhere that you can get digital music, so CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, and that will be available next week around September 7th, the week of September 7th.
Yep.
Now, tell people where they can get a hold of you or where they can see you with Stompy Jones.
Well, probably the best thing to do is to visit my website, which is robdellinger.com, and it's ROBDEHLINGER. That's robdellinger.com. They can also go to the stompyjones.com website. And I'm on Facebook. My Facebook regular account is maxed out, but there's also, I believe it's Rob Dillinger Music is the fan page. You can like that and find out where I'm playing on there as well. And there's some other exciting things brewing, but I'll save that for another time. that we could talk about as well. But if they go to my website, they'll be kept up to date.
All right, good deal. And for any of the Skywalkers out there who love swing music, Stompy Jones is your band. And if you go see Rob live, you can always say things like, things we want to share, or 0.5 past Lightspeed.
Never land on Alderaan.
And chances are Rob will play it. Asterisk, he might not play it.
Perhaps I should start a band that just does all jingles.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can pull up selected Skywalkers, do like a tour. Oh, this is gonna go places. And then next, the miniseries, then the movie. And then the theme park. Oh, we have so many plans for Skywalking through Neverland.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, Rob, well, before we wrap up, anything else you want to add about the Skywalking through Neverland Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1 by Rob Dellinger?
Oh, that's it. I hope it brings everybody a lot of joy and they have fun with it and spread the word, that it's available. And I'm looking forward to working on Volume 2.
Woohoo.
All right, good deal.
All right.
Skywalkers, more homework. Gotta promote the album.
Skywalking through Neverland.
So normally we list all of our meetups at the end of the show, but there are some coming right up that we want to make sure that we share with you, Skywalkers.
Yes, definitely. So, this weekend, I will be running the Dumbo Double Dare at Disneyland, which is for the Disneyland Half Marathon. So, I'll be running the 10K on Saturday morning and the Half Marathon on Sunday morning.
So that is Saturday, September 3rd
Yes.
for the 10K,
Okay.
and Sunday, September 4th for the half marathon.
Well, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, so probably someday on Saturday, September 3rd, there's some Facebook group meetups that are happening, and I'll let you guys know where I'll be on Saturday. And then Sunday, I believe, and you might join me for some of this.
Yeah.
Work depending. And on Sunday, we will definitely be at Disneyland or DCA for some parts of the day. But then that night, we will be at the Hollywood Bowl because John Williams will be doing his awesome John Williams concert that he does every year, except for last year when he was in the middle of composing music for The Force Awakens. And I was like so excited to go see him and realized he's not doing a concert this year. So
the John Williams concert will be on Sunday,
September 4th.
September 4th. And we hope to see all you Skywalkers there because it'll be a really fun event. It's John Williams, and maybe he'll release some Episode 8 info.
I don't know about that,
doing.
but they definitely said on the Hollywood Bowl website that they will be playing music from The Force Awakens live. So John Williams will actually be conducting the second half of the concert only at this time. Yes, I did read that. But the first half will be other film music as conducted by, I forget the composer right now. But yes. It's very exciting because we always love to see John Williams.
Will it be Alexander Desplat, composer of the Rogue One soundtrack?
No, it won't. It won't, but we should get there early.
Will it be Kevin Kiner, composer of Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels?
It won't. But we will get there early and probably bring our lightsabers. And we want to do like a meetup earlier, right?
Yeah,
Maybe an hour before the event in the Hollywood Bowl area.
All right, so let us know on Facebook. Should we do a Facebook group? Meeting on Facebook?
An event?
An event page, yes.
Yes, this is like, we're
forming this as we go.
Yeah, we're not planning very far in advance this week.
Yeah, sorry.
Goodness.
It's been a busy summer.
Okay.
All right, so that'll be your homework.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Now, one more thing we want to mention is that we are coming up on the 3rd anniversary of Skywalking through Neverland.
Wow.
September the 27th is when we began. In the year 2013, yes.
Wow.
Goodness. Now, what should we do for our anniversary show? What do you Skywalkers think?
Last year we had 100 guests. And
that was for our 100th episode.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which was very close to
very close to our second anniversary. So,
Yes.
so Skywalkers, what do you want to see us do for our 3rd anniversary? Let us know. Should they email us? Should they post? Maybe we can do a Facebook post.
Something.
Once again, we're making this up as we go along.
Yes.
But it's coming up. It's coming up.
Special Howard the Duck screen.
Nice. So there's your homework, Skywalkers. And that will wrap up Things We Want to Share.
in the tiki 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 cantina, in the tiki 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 cantina.
The Woloski's talk and the magic blue
in the tiki 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 cantina.
Tiki, 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 tiki cantina.
September 17th through 22nd, 2017, a 5-night Disney cruise to Baja, Mexico on the Disney Wonder will be transformed into a floating podcast stage as Stories of the Magic teams up with Skywalking Through Neverland.
Randy Crane is here with us now to update us with some important information.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Richard and Sarah.
Hey, thanks for coming on and organizing this big cruise, and we can't wait to go. But before we go into this, tell everyone about your podcast, Stories of the Magic.
Sure, thanks for the opportunity to do that. Stories of the Magic is an interview-based podcast. Everything I do is interviews, mainly with people who work for or have worked for Disney. So Imagineers, cast members, artists, actors, and then I've also expanded that to include people who have done something pretty major because of their love for Disney. They didn't work for Disney, but maybe they've recorded an album or written a book, or I actually just did one with Kimberly Markey, who is a Disney runner. Quote unquote, all she does is run, but she's coming up on her 150th Run Disney medal.
What?
And yeah, it's amazing. And she did a lot of that, including completing her first Dopey Challenge, which at Walt Disney World is the 5K, 10K, half marathon, and full marathon while battling breast cancer.
Wow. Holy buckets.
Wow.
She has an amazing story, and I'm so excited that I get to share it with people.
Oh,
Wow.
exciting.
150 medals. Well, then again, collectively, we have 149, Sarah.
Really? I don't think we've counted. But yeah, that's amazing. Wow. And I know you've talked to like Goofy
Bill Farmer.
Yep,
You've
talked
talked
to him
to
a couple times.
Bob
Yeah.
Gurr.
Yeah, so we love your podcast because it's like nice long form interviews. You know, we can all get behind that.
Just the
on
way
podcasts.
podcasting should be.
Yeah.
Long form.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Now, speaking of long form, I have no idea where that segue is going. Let's go over the particulars for anyone coming into this late into the cruise opportunity. So give us the dates, what the cruise is and where it's leaving from and going to.
Okay, so it is, as you said in the intro here, September 17th to the 22nd, 2017, and it sails from San Diego, California, and has a port at Ensenada, a port at Cabo San Lucas, and a day at sea.
Right. So it's like a 5-night cruise, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
5 nights.
5 nights.
Is that 4 days or 6 days? I guess 6 days technically.
Yeah.
All right, now give us some of the updates for the cruise.
It just so happens that a month or so after we decided to do this, Disney announced that the Wonder was going to be going into dry dock here in a month and a half or so from now, and getting all kinds of updates to it. So,
Woohoo.
Yeah, I am so excited about some of these. The expansion of the kids' water play area to the Aqua Lab, retheming. I'm sort of excited about the retheming of the adults entertainment district. I really like the Route 66 theme, but they've got some cool new areas and venues coming. And probably my favorite thing that's coming is Tiana's Place restaurant replacing Parrot Key. Parrot Key is actually the first Disney Cruise Line restaurant that I ate at, and I thought, if this is where we're going, well, okay.
Huh.
The others were great.
Why would you think like that? Like, was it just not exciting enough?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty generic. It wasn't themed to anything other than just kind of a typical,
Tiki room?
a stereotypical, and not even that interesting or detailed. It was just kind of semi-Caribbean themed, and that was it.
Oh, wow.
And the others were so much nicer. And so now with this becoming Tiana's Place, I'm so excited to eat there.
Wow. How many cruises have you been on, the Disney cruises?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I've been on, I think, 2 or 3 Disney cruises, and I've been on 3 other cruises. So I'm a total of about 6, and 2 or 3 of those were Disney.
Okay, and you've been on the Disney Wonder before, correct?
Yes, that was my first cruise, was on the Disney Wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, just to let you know, the whole cruise, I'm going to be calling this the Disney Oneater.
The Oneaters.
That's the Wonders.
Just so you know that up front, okay?
And if you know where that's
So I
from,
won't correct you. I'll just go with that. Okay.
And if you know where that's from,
thing you do.
Skywalkers. Oh, yes. I was going to say, tweet at us. Yay.
For the Tiana's restaurant, this is going to all be themed around Tiana, of course.
Yeah, and as I understand it, and it's been a little while since I looked at it, but if I remember correctly, it's also going to include at least Tiana there. I don't know if it's necessarily a character meal, but she's going to be there. And best of all, I know this, they're going to have live jazz music there. It's the only restaurant I know of on the Disney Cruise Line that has, especially of the main dining locations, that has live music in it for the mealtime.
Oh, nice. So you think maybe like a jazz trio or something like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe something kind of like the Jambalaya Jazz Band
right.
at Disneyland, something like that.
Now, is there an overall theme to this whole cruise?
A theme specific to the week? As far as I know, there's not. Well, other than Skywalking Through Neverland and Stories of the Magic Takeover. From that, I don't think so. But you know what they keep doing is pushing their Halloween on the High Seas earlier and earlier. I make no promises, but there's the possibility that it may be Halloween on the High Seas.
What is the earliest that it's been?
Right now, I think the first ones are like the end of September or right around there. You know what? I will look as we talk, and we'll circle back to that question, and I will tell you. Because I remember when I saw the dates, I thought, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, do you know how excited I'm going to be if this is a Halloween cruise as well?
Well, what I'm thinking of is it will be perhaps themed, or something is going to be announced closer to the cruise date, because that's what all the other cruises has happened. Like you could book a cruise that became the Star Wars Day at Sea cruise, halfway through after you booked it, kind of a thing.
Right. So, they're always updating and updating.
Yeah. And, I know this cruise will have now the new Frozen show.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they just recently announced that. And because they haven't gone into dry dock yet, I'm sure they're going to be making other announcements during that time and right when it comes out of it and that kind of thing.
Right.
Because I'm actually a little surprised, the Fantasy and the Dream have the Aqueduct. Mm-hmm. And then when they did this dry dock for the Magic a couple of years ago, they added the Aquadunk. Right. And they haven't announced anything like that for the Wonder.
Okay. And what that is basically like you're in a tube. It's like a water slide that goes out over the edge of the boat.
Oh.
Right.
Is that?
Yeah. And the difference between that's more or less the Aqueduct. The Aquadunk is like that, but it's smaller because the Magic is a smaller ship.
Okay.
But it also is more of I don't know what the technical term is, but I'm going to call it a drop slide.
Oh.
So that, you're in it and they drop the floor out. For you to start, as opposed to sitting in a raft and they just push you. It's got that little extra thrill to make up for it being shorter. And I have the Halloween on the High Seas dates for you for 2016, and you are not going to believe it. It is not going to be on the Wonder because of the dry dock, but it's going to be on the Magic starting October 2nd.
Oh.
It's going to be on the Fantasy starting September 3rd.
Whoa!
And on the Dream September 2nd.
Wow. So we're right in that window if they decide to have Halloween on the Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, this is getting better and better.
This just became awesome.
Yeah.
Halloween is our favorite holiday. Oh my goodness.
This will be just tremendous. Now, you keep saying that it's going to be in dry dock. For Sarah doesn't know what that means. Can you explain it to her?
I think you don't know what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean again for Sarah's sake?
What that means is they're going to, instead of just a typical rehab that you might do while the ship is just in a port, kind of the basic cleanup, they actually take it out of the water. They float it out and dock it in a dry dock so they can get down. Think of at Disneyland at the Rivers of America, like when you have the Columbia off there by Fowler's Harbor.
Right.
And it's up a bit out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dry dock.
Okay.
So it's exactly what it sounds like. They do that because every now and then you want to get in there and inspect the seams and the welds and the various fasteners and everything. They're actually going to be adding, I think, some stabilizers to the back of it. And you can't really do that very well in the water.
Right.
So they're going to dry dock it to do all of this work and then float it back out.
Wow. So it'll be kind of like a brand sparkling new ship next year.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right,
Awesome.
good for them. All right, so what are the other new updates? We have the Frozen show that, Sarah, you just mentioned.
Right. I know there's some kind of, isn't there like a London pub?
Yes. Yeah, that is one of the new areas that I was mentioning in the adults only district.
Awesome.
And there's so much that they're doing to it. I honestly almost couldn't even tell you where to start. But I can send you a link that we can put in the show notes for this episode for the Disney Parks blog post where they announced this, because there's just so much cool stuff coming.
Okay.
Yeah, we could spend the entire time just talking about the new, cool, exciting stuff that they're that ship.
Awesome. And I know we did talk about some of this new stuff on a previous Skywalking Through Neverland as well.
Yep. Yeah. So what is that website?
It's going to be on the Disney Parks blog. I'll need to look up the link and send it to you.
Okay.
But I can do that right now while we're talking.
I'm sure if you go to Disney Parks blog and search Disney Wonder, you actually might find something.
Right. Okay.
Something might
Yeah,
pop up.
I was actually just on it today, getting a bit of the details to answer a couple of the questions that were asked. So I can get to the direct link in my browsing history pretty quick here.
Now, we just put up a post on our Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group, and some Skywalkers had some questions about this cruise. So let's go through a few of these.
Absolutely.
All right, so Kai Charles, she writes, I'm curious if passports are needed and the deadlines for booking. This was a great question because, yeah, I'm curious too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an excellent question. And the answer is, as far as passports go, it's not a super direct answer, but I'll give you the official answer and then I'll give you my answer. The official answer is, are they required? No. The reason they're not required is this is what's called a closed loop cruise from a U.S. port. In other words, it starts and ends in the same port. So we're going to start in San Diego. We're going to leave in San Diego. Because of that, it's not required.
Okay.
You do have to have some form of
ID,
proof of citizenship, so ID, birth certificate, that kind of thing.
So we should look into this just because
Right.
I went on a cruise about 10 years ago to Mexico, and they did say we didn't need passports, but once we got there to the dock, all of a sudden we needed our passports. And luckily I thought, you know what, I'm just going to bring mine just in case.
Yikes.
Yeah, and let me tell you the reason that I always recommend passports, even on cruises that don't require it. Let's say, heaven forbid, that something happens. You get sick and have to be taken to the hospital. There's some kind of family emergency at home. For some reason, you miss the ship coming back from a shore excursion, because they will leave without you unless things have been properly arranged. They will leave without you.
Wow.
If you have to get back into the United States in some way other than on that ship, and you don't have a passport, they're just not going to let you do it.
Wow.
Yikes.
So then you get to go to the U.S. consulate and deal with all of that. If you have a passport, something happens, you need to get back some way other than on the ship, no problem.
Okay, so it's always recommended.
Absolutely.
Always recommended to get to the ship like a half an hour before it leaves.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's for sure. To answer the other question, as far as the deadline for booking, for the sake of organizing the group activities and stuff, I would say no later than 90 days before we sail.
Okay.
And the earlier the better, because it gives me more to work with. I mean,
Okay.
realistically, the deadline for booking is when the ship fills up. If it fills up in January, there's not really much I can do.
Right.
So the sooner you book, the sooner you know that you're going to have a place on this awesome podcasting cruise.
That might be Halloween themed.
Yeah, and
Right.
will they be upset if we take a can of spray paint and paint Skywalking Through Neverland and Stories of the Magic on the side of the ship?
I think they might frown on that, but I'm not sure. I don't know who would know. I mean,
okay.
Although that reminds me, as I was getting quote requests, I got one from somebody who just identified himself as S. Squirrel and said something about put me near Richard and Sarah. I need to keep an eye on those people. So
what?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, he follows me everywhere. You know what? Do what you can to put him on the
B list,
on the Universal cruise. Get him on that Minions cruise. Go into Van Nuys.
Yeah, I'll work on that. You know, honest mistake. Things happen sometimes. You know.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, luggage got lost too. There's secret squirrel. All you need is a hat and a raincoat.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
All right, so let's move on to Chris Shepard, who asks, "I've cruised before, but not Disney. How are Disney cruises different than your standard cruise?"
I love this question, and I had to limit myself as I was kind of brainstorming what I was going to say for this. And the first one that comes to mind actually kind of goes back to something we talked about early on when I was mentioning the themed restaurants. And as Parrot Key's being replaced by Tiana's Place, Disney actually has 3 main dining rooms. Most ships have 1, they might have 2, and that's your dining room for the duration of the sailing. Disney has 3. So they've got Tiana's Place, Animator's Palette, and I believe on the Wonder is Enchanted Garden.
Wow.
Yeah, and you rotate through those restaurants.
Oh.
So one night you might be in Tiana's Place, the next night you're in Animator's Palette, the next night you're in Enchanted Garden, and then you go back to Tiana's Place, depending on how long your cruise is. So in this case, we would be in all 3 of them once and then 2 of them a second time.
Oh, cool.
And everybody moves together.
Oh.
So everybody that's in, Tiana's Place the first night that's on our particular rotation, we'll all go to Animator's Palette the second night. So our group would stay together and our wait staff goes with us.
Oh, nice. So they get to know you, kind of?
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice. Now, this is all inclusive, correct? So it doesn't cost a thing except for the gift shops.
Correct. The gift shops. And there's also the spa, which does cost extra.
Okay.
If you want a massage or something like that. And they do have a premium dining location that's called Paolo. And that one has a brunch and a dinner, and that does cost extra. But it's also optional. You don't have to eat at Paolo if you don't want to. And so in that case, then, that's not an extra cost for you. Shore excursions cost extra if you want to do them. And then gratuities cost extra. The tips cost extra.
Now, speaking of costs, what was the initial cost and what is the cost now? Because I know it goes up every, couple of months?
It goes up. It really varies as the ship fills. Okay. And the price ranges are pretty broad, honestly. If it's a couple people in an inside stateroom, it started at right around $1,900 for the 2, including taxes and fees.
Okay.
You could go up to a deluxe family ocean view stateroom with veranda, which is their word for balcony. And that started at, I think it was about $4,500.
Wow.
You could go up to a 1 or 2 bedroom concierge suite that runs at the time $7,000 or $8,000.
Wow.
So it's a pretty broad range there. It has gone up. I want to say when I last looked, it had gone up a couple of percent. So maybe it went from $1,900 to $2,000. But that tells us that the ship is filling. They're having enough demand that the ship is filling, and prices are going to keep going up. I can't tell you how fast. And back when we were talking about the deadline for booking, and I was saying, when the ship fills, that's it. If people are interested in this, if any of the listeners want to go on this cruise with us, but they're not 100% sure they can do it, if you can do the deposit, book a room now.
Okay.
We can get the room. We can, so I can get you close to each other. We can get the rotational dining tied in. We can do all of that stuff. Final payment's not due until about the end of June of 2017.
Wow.
If you get that far and it's like, I just can't do this, you can cancel, no penalty. You get your deposit back, no harm, no foul.
Oh, wow.
If you get to the end of June and say, hey, I want to do this, and now I figured out that I can, there may not be room on the ship.
Right.
Yikes.
So you're better off to book now and cancel if you have to, than wait and possibly not be able to book.
How much do you have to put down to hold your spot?
It's about 18% of the total cruise fare. It depending on what stateroom category you have, how many people you have, that sort of thing. But it's about 18%.
So if you can afford to do that and hold a spot, even if you're not 100%, I definitely would, because this sounds like so much fun, and the whole Halloween possibility, perfect.
Okay. Now, I know the price tag might be making some people a little bit shaky, but what Sarah and I have been doing is doing payments.
Yes, each month.
Which really helps out, because when it reaches September of next year, it's like, oh, well, we're good to go. Let's go.
Yeah, we're all paid up. So.
Yeah, it makes it much, much easier and more manageable.
Yeah, and here's a suggestion for people, too. Between now and then is Christmas, and several people probably have birthdays and things like that. Ask for Disney gift cards.
Oh.
You can use Disney gift cards to pay for the cruise fare.
Oh,
nice.
And if you want to buy them for yourself, maybe go to Target if you've got a red card, and you can save the 5% when you buy the gift card, and then use that.
That's awesome.
See?
That's
all
a good
right.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are there's going to be a Star Wars tie-in.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 more months until episode 8.
Oh.
So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a break from our discussion with Randy Crane from Stories of the Magic about our upcoming Disney podcasting cruise to hear a timely short film called Goofy Presents Checking In with Goofy.
Meet Goofy. He's excited for the cruise he's about to take. He's worked hard and deserves a wonderful vacation. There's just a little bit of paperwork to fill out before he can set sail. Sure, take that spot there between those other excited guests. All done. Don't forget your completed paperwork. Thank goodness, it was all just a bad dream. When you book a Disney cruise, you can make boarding the ship a breeze by using Disney Cruise Line's My Online Check-In to complete your paperwork from the comfort and convenience of home. You can even select your own arrival time. Don't forget to print your required documents, sign them, and of course, bring them with you.
Thanks!
Now, how's that for smooth sailing? With Disney Cruise Line's My Online Check-In, it couldn't be easier.
Golly, that sure was fun.
And now back to Randy Crane and the updates about the 2017 Disney podcasting cruise.
So back to Chris's question. We talked about the rotational dining. The kids' spaces and the activities, of course, are extraordinary. You actually see fewer kids on a Disney cruise than you do on a lot of other cruise lines.
Woohoo!
Not because there's fewer kids, but because they're all in the kids' spaces. You know, they're in the Oceaneers Club, Oceaneers Lab, Vibe, Edge, all that kind of thing, and they're having so much fun they don't want to come out.
And aren't adults not allowed in?
You're right. There's like an hour a day that's an open house thing where parents can come in with their kids, and other than that, parents aren't allowed in there.
Every parent's going, oh, darn. All right,
Well,
I'll see you at 7 p.m.
Is the Disney Wonder the one that has like a Millennium Falcon though?
What?
Yeah, I think that's one of the enhancements that's coming.
There's like
Wait a minute, back up here.
You get to go to in the kids space only. There's like the bridge of the Millennium Falcon or the cockpit, I guess.
Yeah, it's the cockpit.
Yeah. And you get to like pretend to fly.
Oh, we're getting in there.
I know.
We're getting in there.
I know.
I can guarantee you that. You call Secret Squirrel and have him usher us out, but we're getting in there.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I'm pulling it up now, and I want to say that it's actually no. It is. I think it's the Fantasy that has that. So
okay.
You can settle. However, what the Wonder is going to have is the Marvel Superhero Academy.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Spider-Man's going to be there in person. Other superheroes are going to be interacting with the kids from a large digital display. And so, kids can practice their superhero skills. It's going to be all kinds of cool stuff.
I want to be in the kids area.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of kids, Megan Shepard had a question. She asked, what do they have along the lines of family activities that include young children? And do they have pool areas for young children?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, those kids areas that we were just talking about, another thing that makes the Disney Cruise Line different is there's no casinos on the ships, and the kids' spaces take the place of where the casinos usually are on other ships.
Okay.
So it's a much bigger kids area. It's a great place for the kids to do things themselves. But when it comes to family activities, oh my gosh, there's shows in the main theater, Broadway quality. Like you think of the kind of stuff that's at the Hyperion Theater, that caliber of show, character greetings where you don't have to wait an hour May wait 15 minutes, and sometimes you'll just see them wandering the ship.
Nice.
To interact with them. Movies in the Buena Vista Theater and on the Funnel Vision, so you can hang out in a deck chair or in the pool and watch a movie on the Funnel Vision. Dance parties like the Disney Junior Dance Party, live music in a bunch of places on the ship, karaoke, games like So You Think You Know Your Family. That's a fun one. Trivia games, other kinds of weird, fun, unusual games, crafts, character drawing lessons, and the Pirates in the Caribbean deck party.
Oh,
what's that?
Yeah. Even though we're not in the Caribbean, they still call it that. And that is pirate night on the ship. So whatever dining room you're in, it's a pirate-themed menu. You can dress up in your pirate garb. And then there's a party on deck after the second seating for dinner. And, weather permitting, fireworks at sea.
Aw, how fun. It's like going on the boat with Ariel and Prince Eric when they have the fireworks going on.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Aw. Yay. I'm so excited.
Oh, can you cosplay?
Yeah.
Okay. I won first place at a pirate contest when I was in Jamaica.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so maybe I'll bring that costume.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, they encourage dressing up for that. It's really, really fun.
Oh, cool.
We were talking earlier about the pool area. And so that's going to be the Aqua Lab. And I actually have how Disney describes it, if you would like me to share what Disney says about what this Aqua Lab is going to be.
Aqua Lab sounds like a place where Aquaman works.
It does, doesn't it? Unfortunately, Aquaman's DC, but whatever. Submariner, there you go.
There you go. Oh, you know you're Marvel.
That's right. So this is what Disney says about it. Huey, Dewey, and Louie have really pulled out all the stops this time, creating a madcap multi-level experience. Donald Duck's nephews have been hard at work, coming up with inventive new ways for the whole family to play together. But once again, they seem to have waddled off, leaving you in charge of the lab's smooth operation. At this 1,800 square foot recreation space located at Deck 9 aft, you'll find a pool with the boys emblazoned on its bottom, a beach area with geysers, spraying pop jets that offer bursts of cooling refreshment, and plenty of shaded areas for lounging or looking in on little ones. Interactive elements designed by the three crafty ducklings include pouring paint cans, raining shower heads, pop jets, and geysers spray little ones as they play. Leaky pipes invite young cruisers to plug them, causing an even greater spray load. Rotating wheels and levers, and Donald's boiler, where pushing buttons may cause Donald to blow his top, drenching everyone in his path.
Oh. Fun.
Pool area is an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Wow. I hope, Megan Shepard, that answered your question. Wow.
Even Aquaman or Submariner would be overwhelmed by that.
Yeah, too much water, make it stop.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Joey Pittman, who's got a question. He says, I'm really hoping I can go on this one. My question is, even though there will be many group events and get-togethers, I will be traveling by myself. Is it cheaper or more expensive alone? Or are there arrangements to double up?
Okay. So this is a little complicated to explain, but I'll give it my best shot, and then you can ask follow-up questions if you've got them.
Okay.
Disney's official policy is if you are traveling alone and you'd like your own stateroom, you will be charged the same total package price as two guests staying in the same stateroom.
Yikes.
So in other words, one pays the same as two.
Right.
That's not completely accurate, but it's close. Rather than one guest paying exactly the same as two for a room, it's actually a little less, but not very much. The solo guest pays about 90% of the second fare and only has to pay the taxes, fees, and port charges for themselves. So, for example, if a room costs $2,000 for two people, it would cost about $1,750 for one person.
Oh, wow.
So it's still pretty expensive. Now, with that said, if we have more than one solo traveler, we can make roommate arrangements, and I'm more than happy to work with people on that. I have some recommendations on how to best do that. We can go into that one-on-one with anybody who needs it. We don't need to do that right here. But we certainly can do that so that it's not nearly that kind of burden for you to come by yourself.
Okay.
All right, that's nice because Joey's he's one of our original Skywalkers, so it'll be fun if he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on to Mark Newbold's question. Now, he says he's thinking of cruising on the Magic out of Barcelona in a couple years, but his wife has limited mobility and is usually in a wheelchair. So how suitable is the cruise for someone like this? And on a broader note, do the cruises carry exclusive merchandise?
he would ask that question.
Okay, so he's asking specifically about the Magic, so that's That's what I'm going to answer. This is largely true of the others, but I'm answering specifically for the Magic. And that ship itself is very accessible, but because it is an older built vessel, there are a couple of challenging places to navigate on your own in a wheelchair. It can be done, it's just a little challenging in a couple places. The ports are where you're going to find the most issues because, European countries just don't have the same accessibility laws that the US does. Buildings are sometimes centuries old, streets and sidewalks are narrower, that kind of thing. However, because Barcelona hosted the Paralympics in '92, it's ahead of a lot of other European cities in terms of accessibility. They even have handicapped ramps on their beaches.
Wow.
So for this particular sailing, that is a big plus, being the port of embarkation. And depending on his itinerary, may even be the port of debarkation. So that's going to be a really good place to start from.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. If you're going to be doing a European or Mediterranean cruise, that's the way to do it. And starting out of Barcelona.
Now, what if anyone on the Wonder has those same issues about mobility and being in a wheelchair? Is it handicap accessible?
It is. Yeah, the Wonder is as well. I'm sure when it's in dry dock, they're going to be going back and making sure that they have all of those addressed as much as the ship space will allow also. So like the Magic, there might be some limited issues in a couple places, but for the most part, it won't be a problem. And I've been to Cabo San Lucas and to Ensenada on a cruise ship. And really the only issue that I can potentially think of, particularly if doing some kind of group event, because when you have a group event, you've got something like buses or something, and I'll be able to look at accessibility issues for whatever somebody wants if that's a concern. The only issue I can really think of is that Cabo San Lucas is what they call a tender port,
right? Which
means the ship doesn't dock. It actually anchors out at sea a little ways, and then you have to get on a tender boat to go in to the dock itself. But they do, as long as the seas aren't real rough, they do have that tethered to the ship, and they will help people get on and off the boat and that sort of thing. So you're not trapped on the boat or on the ship, in Cabo San Lucas, because it is a tender port.
Okay, good to know. And now I'm sure, Disney being Disney, they're going to have exclusive merchandise and plenty of it.
Of course they do. There is Disney Cruise Line specific merchandise. Now, I haven't seen much that's ship specific, but definitely for the cruise line as a whole, and sometimes for the itinerary, especially if it's a new or a unique one, then they'll sometimes have itinerary specific merchandise.
And you know what, Richard? I know that there is specific exclusive Dooney and Bork bags.
Thanks, Mark Newbold. Thanks very much. Thank you.
And some of this can, of course, be purchased on DisneyStore.com, because even if they're going to make it exclusive, they're going to find ways to separate you from your money.
Wait a minute. That's not the Disney I know.
And probably on your Disney app, right? There's like an app now that you can buy
like
a
Shop Disney app or something like that.
Something. Yeah. I forget what I don't have it because we are here near Disneyland, so we don't need it, but I know many people in the middle of the country can do that.
All right, let's move on to our cruise buddies, the Chickafants.
Yes.
They're always cruising. And Chickafant writes, I know it's still early to be planning things, or can it ever be too early to start planning? It can never be too early to start planning.
Yes.
Oh, no.
But what kind of group events are you thinking about doing, and what kind of excursions at the different ports of call would be fun and appropriate for groups?
Okay, so when it comes to group events on the ship, obviously there's going to be at least one for each podcast live recording.
Yes.
I'm looking into the possibility. In fact, I know I can do it. I'm looking into whether we maybe want to do a scavenger hunt on board the ship. I think that would be super fun. I've done that. It's really cool.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
And it's, I'll put it together. It's not going to be one that we just download off the internet. I'll put it together. So it'll be something for us that nobody else has.
Cool.
We can also do what they call a fish extender exchange, which sounds really bizarre. I understand that. But if you picture the door of your stateroom, and in fact, incidentally, I didn't have this jotted down, but we could also do a door decorating contest if you want to.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah.
So, but just usually to the right of the door is like a fish or some kind of sea animal that is like a brass sculpture kind of thing that's mounted to the wall. And that's where they'll put the daily navigator, which is the list of activities and everything and information about the next day. They'll put that there. If you have you want to do Paulo brunch, they'll put the envelope with your tickets there, that sort of thing. Well, you can do kind of a hanging thing from it. Think sort of like a shoe rack, but way smaller, just little pockets.
Okay.
And so people can put those on their door, in our group, and we'll know, okay, here's the list of people who are participating in it. Here's the room. And then everybody, like each family, each party brings something that they want to put in everybody else's fish extender. That hanging thing is called a fish extender because it extends the fish that's on the wall.
Okay, so you know what? It's kind of like Valentine's in your
Yeah.
third grade class.
Right.
Everyone
exactly.
has their little box that they made, and you bring Valentine's for everyone in your class because if you don't bring one for everyone, then people feel left out.
And there's lawsuits.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's cute. Aw.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. And a lot of times people will bring something that's, meaningful for their family or something that is representative of the part of the country or the part of the world that they come from. And so it's a great way to get to know other people in the group. It's a great way to share part of what's important to you with other people. And then, it's just a fun set of keepsakes that you have to take home then.
Wow.
So that's really fun. We can do that. We'll talk a little bit about possibly a group shore excursion that I had mentioned before. I always suggest people arrive at the port the day or at least the night before a cruise. And so we could maybe do a pre-cruise dinner together.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, especially like coming into San Diego, flying is always a potential issue because if you have a flight the day of the cruise and it gets canceled,
That's
you're
not
not
good.
getting on the ship.
Right.
Some of us, like you guys and like me, are going to probably drive down. It wouldn't make sense to fly from John Wayne to San
Right.
We could do it, but it wouldn't make a lot of sense. But there's pretty much one or two major thoroughfares. Like you can take the 5 down, you can take the 15 down to the 8. That's pretty much your options. Let's say that you take the 5 and there's a traffic jam with some kind of major accident in Del Mar.
Right.
Guess who's not getting to the ship in time?
Okay.
So if you come in the day before, you're there, you're, depending on where you stay, a couple blocks to maybe a mile from the cruise terminal, you don't even have to worry about it. So if we do that, we can do a pre-cruise dinner. And then I've got some other ideas too, but it's kind of too early to mention those.
Okay, I'm sure we'll come back and do more updates as the months go on.
Yeah, and as they announce a Halloween cruise, what?
So now for the shore excursions that would be fun and appropriate for groups, there's a whole bunch of possibilities. And what we can do and what would be fun really depends on the group size, the makeup of the group, and what we want to do.
Okay.
And we can do more than one. If, for example, maybe one part of the group wants to do something active and another wants to do something a little bit more serene, we could do that. But just a few possibilities that were just kind of off the top of my head. We could do a harbor cruise, sightseeing tour, zip line tour, horseback riding, wine and cheese tastings tour.
Okay.
There's actually one of the ports has a couple of vineyards that are like an hour away from the port.
Oh, wow.
Glass bottom boat ride and tour. So those are just things that came to mind off the top of my head that we could maybe do.
Wow. I'm up for the wine and cheese, but that's a me thing.
Well, you put a lot of thought into this, Randy.
Richard, you do the zip line. I'll do the wine and cheese.
Done and done.
Nice.
All
wow.
right, let's do one more question here, and this is from Sarah's mom.
That's right, Norma Heitman. She asks, will we all be able to dine together for at least a few of the evening meals?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to be tying the reservations together. In fact, I already am tying the reservations together as they're made, and I'm managing them so that we can all be together for dinners.
Nice.
We'll be on the same dining rotation. I'm going to make sure of that. And if the group at each dining time is large enough, we may be at more than one table, but those tables are going to be as close together as we can get them.
Okay.
And the sooner people book, like I said earlier, the better chance I have of getting them close together. If somebody books 6 or 7 months from now, there just may not be availability to put them with the rest of us. I'm going to do my best before we board. And then if we're not together, like let's say somebody books later and they're on a different dining time or their table's far away or something, then I'm going to go talk to the head waiter once we're on board and see what we can do about rearranging that. But it's harder and it's less likely the later people book.
Okay.
All right, and can we put Secret Squirrel in the kids area?
Oh, absolutely.
All right,
There's a little table, and people are going to love the little squirrel. Like little kids will just think he's great.
Throw him some nuts and let him be happy. And I just don't need him looking over my shoulder throughout dinner.
Oh.
That's right. And I actually got one other question that someone asked me on a separate post that I had put in, that James Floyd wanted to know, do passengers still try to sing I'm on a boat aboard cruise ships?
Oh. What song is this?
The waves go up and down and they push me all around. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Look it up on YouTube.
Okay, I will.
And I'm going to be sending you to YouTube in a minute anyway.
Okay.
Because my answer to that is not that I've heard. And, sadly, the Disney Cruise Line cruise staff also used to do a song themselves that they don't do anymore.
Oh.
And that song is My Heart Will Go On.
That would be funny, but no. It was part of what they call the pub skit on the last night of the cruise. It's a little bit more adult than people might expect from Disney, so that might be one of the reasons that they don't do it anymore. But it was really fun, and it was at like 11 o'clock on the last night. So seriously, it's adults in there. So if you want to know what this is, search YouTube for Disney Cruise If I Were Not Upon the Sea, and you'll see what I mean.
Okay, and James Floyd, of course, if you join us on the cruise, well, you can start the song and we'll all join in. How about
we'll
that?
harmonize.
Yes.
That's right.
All right. Well, Skywalkers, are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm so glad we did this, because knowing that there's going to be a Halloween tie-in possibly,
yeah,
and all these new restaurants and shows, and I'm really excited now. I'm just disappointed it's not September of this year.
I know, right? Well, where do Skywalkers go to sign up then, Randy?
Okay, so they can go to storiesofthemagic.com/cruise quote, and that'll take you to the page where you can get a quote. You click the orange book now button, and you can do that. Or if you don't want to go through all of that, or you think I really just have a couple questions or something like that, I've set up a new email address. You can email me at cruise@storiesofthemagic.com. Let me know you're interested. Ask whatever questions you want. And we can do it straight from there. If you don't want to go through the whole book now button and everything like that, just email me at cruise@storiesofthemagic.com and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
All right, good deal.
All right, Randy. Well, for those of us who like to tweet, what is your Twitter handle so people can reach you?
The best way to do it, I actually have two, but the best one, because it's the easiest for you to be able to follow, is Stories of Magic.
Okay.
It's the podcast name, but without the, because there's the character limit. So it's Stories of Magic.
All right. And once again, Skywalkers, go to our email cruise@storiesofthemagic.com for more info.
Yeah, if you want to ask Randy any questions that we didn't go over on this segment.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear from anybody who wants to get in touch with me.
Yay.
All right, Randy. Well, until next time, bon voyage.
Happy sailing.
Shout-outs, Skywalker shout-outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout out. Who was photobombed? Shout out. Who was shared a post? Shout out.
So our Facebook group has garnered a lot of discussion. I love it. I love that people are discussing things and having things to say.
And they're even creating their own discussions. So they're not just posting about things that we posted, but they're taking the task and creating their own discussions.
Exactly. So Kenny Craley is an example of one such discussion. So he posted a question to all the Skywalkers. Here it is. In my conversations with Star Wars fans, one of the subjects that comes up with the new canon are the Marvel Star Wars comic books, both the ongoing series and the miniseries. I hear things like, oh, these new comics don't feel like Star Wars, and I do not agree with that statement. In my opinion, they are not that bad. Why do some not like the Marvel Star Wars comic books? Your thoughts?
People don't like something? Get out.
Maybe, I guess on social media, everyone likes to complain, right?
Well, well, yeah, but I guess with the comics, there's so many so quickly.
Yes.
That the stories aren't maybe as flushed out as like the films or the animated shows. Like when we saw that one Star Wars issue where Luke and Han were transporting Nerfs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're all in the cockpit. It looked like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And yeah, that was very un-Star Wars.
Okay, so I guess some of the things seem very un-Star Wars.
Yeah, like that one there. But the Vader comic, I think that nails it.
It's amazing. And the artwork, I mean, for me, it's really the artwork that draws me in. So, like the Vader comic, I really like because the artwork is fantastic. The Leia comics, I didn't like as much because the artwork just, it wasn't true to, like, she didn't look like Leia, and it bugged me.
Right, but the Kanan comic was was very much
that's my favorite,
on point.
Mm-hmm.
The storylines didn't go too absurd, where the Star Wars comic jumped the Nerf
instead of the shark.
That was just silly.
Yes,
but the Kanan comic really delved into Kanan's backstory.
Yes,
and how he grew up on the run, and I think that was perfect. But I think a lot of people are taking a character like Luke, Han, Leia, or maybe even Vader, characters they've known for almost 40 years, and thought, well, they wouldn't really act like this or like that, whereas these newer characters, we don't really know that much about, so we have more mental liberties with.
Okay.
That's my assessment on that.
So I think, Kenny, what we're saying is people can nitpick anything, and I think they do, so maybe that's what you're seeing. However, there are good points to the comics, and I really like the fact that they do kind of tie in movies to books, or vice versa. Like, we got to see the C-3PO one-off comic where he got his red arm. That shows up in The Force Awakens. Or the fact, I believe it was the Poe Dameron comic that tied some facts together, and I was
I love the fact that they're building up to the beginning of The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Leia has just given Poe and the Black Squadron the task of finding Lord Santeca to find Luke.
Right.
And I love that build up there.
That's very true.
And there's some really interesting characters. The Chewbacca comic was... don't think we really needed the Chewbacca comic.
It's hard to have a Chewbacca comic because Chewbacca, what does he say? What does he say? Yes. Or in the old classic Star Wars Marvel comics, he says, Kronk.
So I guess just like with anything, some people are, like with Phantom Menace, some people love Jar Jar, some people didn't. So it's whoever's reading it and what they're taking away from it.
So I guess our thoughts are there's good points and bad points.
Yeah, and I'm not taking it that seriously where I've got to really argue the points. Like, if I don't like the Nerf hurting,
right,
I'll just move on to the next comic.
Right, okay.
So you're not going to get a ace in the hole or a hole in one or a touchdown. Help me out with these sports references here.
Got it. You did like 3 at once.
And they were all correct.
That was amazing.
So you won't get a home run every single time.
Yes. Just with the Kanan comic.
Yeah.
Grand Slam.
A Grand Slam.
Nice. I get Grand Slam actually makes more sense because I think a Grand Slam you have to win like 4 different things. So, anyway, there you have it.
So, Kenny, those are our thoughts on the Star Wars Marvel comics. What do you Skywalkers think? Go to Kenny's comment on the Facebook page and the Facebook group and post what you think about the Star Wars comics, the newer ones, if you haven't already.
And this is a great time to remind Skywalkers how to join our group. It is a closed group on Facebook, so all you have to do is request to join. You can search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group and request to join, and then send us a message to our Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook page and say, hey, I'm not a spammer, I listen to your show, I want to join.
Yeah,
and then we'll add you.
There are some real weirdos out there who want to join.
And we want to curate.
We want to protect the Skywalkers from that.
We are curating a nice, healthy, awesome group. There's almost 300 people there now, so thank you, Skywalkers.
Good deal. All right, let's move on to our next shout-out.
Yes! As we mentioned at the top of the show, last week, instead of a Skywalking Through Neverland, we released a classic Marvel Star Wars Comics number 10 with Randy Martinez, and there has been some fun comments related to this episode. So Franklin Taylor, he tweeted, "What an interesting story about Kenny Baker. What a great guy. Fun chat on the comic." So thank you, Franklin.
Yeah, this is regarding a story that I didn't know about, that Randy Martinez, our co-host, he had dinner with Kenny Baker one night.
Yeah. It was amazing. How many people can say that?
And I'm surprised he lived to tell the tale.
Right?
For more details, listen to Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics number 10.
That's right. And that is right on our regular Skywalking Through Neverland feed. So if you're already subscribed, simply go to the episode right before this one and you can hear that story, which is right at the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, Skywalkers. Well, I think it's time for our Skywalker of the Week.
Woo. Woo as Kim. Woo as Kim.
Congratulations, Woo S. Kim! You are always keeping us up to date with the latest info. You're always tweeting at us Star Wars and Disney stories, and we just love that. So thank you so much. We hope you enjoy your jingle by Rob Dellinger,
the John Williams of podcasting, and the composer of the just-released Skywalking Through Neverland Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1 by Rob Dellinger.
Woohoo!
Get it now at cdbaby.com and next week at iTunes.
And all other digital media.
And now let's hear from David Aicher on a Skywalker Story.
Skywalker Story. Sharing those Skywalker stories with Richard and Sarah. Skywalker Stories.
Wherever your fandom lies, chances are you have a story to tell.
In our continuing Skywalker Story series, we now hear from David Aicher.
Hey, David.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We are doing great, thank you very much. And as you can tell, we love to hear from the Skywalkers out there, and we love to hear your stories.
Yeah, we can't do this show without you. So I know that you have lots of stories to tell. So which one are you going to share with our Skywalkers today?
Well, we're going to talk about a time when me and Jango Fett kind of arm wrestled.
Whoa. Now, are we talking the real Jango Fett or someone dressed as Jango Fett?
Yes, we're talking the man in the suit.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Temuera Morrison.
Yes.
All right, take us through your adventure.
Well, we're going to rewind the calendar back to about 2005, around Celebration 3.
Okay.
I was standing in a very long line, waiting to get his autograph, and waited. He went and took a couple breaks during this time frame. It was a long line. So finally I get up to the head of the line, getting ready, and media presence shows up, which I was looking at them, and it happened to be Star Wars Insider.
Oh.
And they were asking him some questions and stuff. It was real quick, probably, couple minute interview process, just a couple of questions on how the convention was going for him and everything. And finally he was done, and they were conversing off to the side, the gentleman that was there. And I went up, picked my photo out, and he signed it and everything and personalized it. And we shook hands, and everything went well from there. And then the photographer turned around and said, "Hey, can I get you guys to pose for a couple of pics?" So I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So Temuera Morrison said, "Hey, why don't we do it like arm wrestling?" So we did it right there on the table, boom, like we was arm wrestling. And they took probably 5 or 6 photos. And lo and behold, looked through all the magazines forever. I can't seem to find a photo of it, but somewhere in somebody's archives, there's a handful of photos with me and Jango Fett arm wrestling.
Oh, and this was before iPhones, so you couldn't take the picture yourself.
There was no selfies going on at that time. So
now, were you dressed as anything?
No, I wasn't. I was just in regular street clothes.
Okay.
Just enjoying the convention like always.
Boy, timing really is everything.
Yeah.
It was. I was shocked because I was like, okay, cool. I can pose with a actor for a couple of photos, I guess.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
I can tell there were no kids around you, because if there were, they always go for the kids.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that is really cool. Wow.
Yeah, that's why when Sarah and I go anywhere, we make sure that there's no kids within 100 yards. Because when it comes time to pick out someone from the audience, they always go for the kids. And that's why I always lose out on Star Tours. I'm never the rebel spy. It's always a kid or Sarah.
Oh, don't feel bad. I haven't been the spy neither, and I've been on that ride I don't know how many hundreds of times.
Oh.
We need to start our own club.
Yeah.
The non-rebel spies.
I have not been the rebel spy.
Yeah, they need to make a T-shirt for that.
Yeah, another design. Oh, boy.
With a little number that you keep on taking off.
Yeah.
Yes.
972 rides, never the rebel spy. And because Sarah is always the rebel spy. Even when Sarah's not on board, she's still the rebel spy. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Are you a big autograph hound?
I have... probably over 400 autographs, mainly just Star Wars people.
Wow. Well, have you ever had this kind of personal attention from anyone else?
Depending on the situation. Like I'm part of the 501st.
Oh, nice.
At times, if I am suited up, I usually have actors from the movies come up to me and take photos with me, or however.
Who's your Imperial of choice? Yeah, what costume are you wearing?
I have several. I have a stormtrooper. I have basic TK. I have like bridge crew officer, TIE fighter pilot.
Wow.
Darth Nihilus from the video games.
Do you have a favorite?
I like the Nihilus because it's more comfortable.
Ah, yes. You can sit down.
Yes.
And you can walk. And you can see. And you can breathe.
Pretty much.
Any plans on doing it like a beach trooper? Surf trooper?
One of the new shore troopers?
I would love to probably do one of the black ones coming out in Rogue One.
Oh, the Death Troopers.
Yeah, those. I think that would be pretty unique.
I think you got to be like 6'6" to wear one of those. Yeah, because in the movie they're all like really tall. Even at Celebration Europe, they were really tall.
Huh.
So I think they're trying to set a standard that these Death Troopers are really gargantuan. I think there are Wookiees inside of those. Now let's go back to your story about arm wrestling Jango Fett. Who won? Who won?
Well, neither one of us. It was just it was just a pose, but I think I could have took him.
Nice.
Would Temuera Morrison say the same thing?
Probably.
All right.
Good deal. Good deal.
Nice.
All right, Dave. Well, thank you very much for coming on Skywalker Stories and telling us your story and admitting that you can beat Temuera Morrison.
And is there anywhere that Skywalkers can get a hold of you?
I'm on Facebook. Just basically my name, David Aicher. You should be able to find me on Facebook fairly easy.
Okay. Are you part of our Facebook group?
Oh, yes. I am on your group.
There you go. So Skywalkers, if you want to find David Aicher, you can search David Aicher, Aicher.
Always a pleasure to meet a Jedi.
You're the busiest bee in the fan community. You get around the galaxy enthusiastically. You're 0.5 past light speed.
Many of you know James Floyd as James Jawa, the Skywalker of the Week, and the man who started the charity Wear Star Wars Every Day 2016.
James is here with us now to give us an update on his charity and what shirt he's wearing today.
Hey, James.
Hey, what's going on?
We are here talking to you about your charity. And people always say, what is the best thing about Star Wars fans? And it's the charity work.
Yes.
But before we get into that, James, what shirt are you wearing today?
Well, today is day 225. I started on January 1st as day one, and I am wearing a Rebel Legion Celebration 6 shirt that my friend Donna lent me. It's a ringer tee, and I haven't even posted up the picture yet today. And it's got a cool graphic on the back.
Ooh, exciting. And people have been donating or letting you borrow certain Star Wars shirts to keep you going?
That people, fans, friends have been letting me borrow, have been donating not just shirts, but all kinds of Star Wars wear for Wear Star Wars Every Day. And so, yeah, I'd probably say that easily 3/4 of what I've worn so far has been stuff that other people have let me borrow or have donated just for the cause.
Now, are you allowed to wear the same T-shirt twice?
That is the big thing. Wear Star Wars Every Day is all about wearing a different Star Wars apparel item every day, so that I can't repeat the same thing. And if someone gives me something that, of the same design that I've already worn, I can't even, wear it, even though it's a physically separate item.
So before people started donating shirts to you, did you have 366 because this was a leap year? Did you have that many shirts?
No, when I first thought of this, I kind of looked at my stack of Star Wars wear, and I thought maybe I could go like 2 or 3 months. And I thought, that we could do that. And then I thought, well, why not try to go for a whole year and get friends and other fans to help? And then I thought, why not do this as a thing for charity, that you be a force for good and not just make it about myself, but make it about helping some people out. And so I chose Collateral Repair Project, which is a grassroots nonprofit that provides emergency aid and community support and education to urban refugees. They're based in Amman, Jordan. And as you might know, Jordan is right on the border with Iraq and Syria, so that there's a lot of refugees that come to Jordan, and that many of them don't end up in camps or anything, but they end up in the cities. And so in Amman, Collateral Repair Project runs a community center. They provide emergency food assistance, emergency heating oil assistance for refugees, but also provides a lot of programs that help refugees, like after school programs for kids, ways to get them school supplies so they can attend school, a lot of programs for adults, including women's empowerment programs, things that will provide a way to cope with PTSD, as a lot of refugees come from very violent situations that they've escaped from. So that, there's yoga, there are wellness programs, there are, English and computer classes, run 2 Girl Scout troops. So they do a lot of good, and, they're just a small group. And so I decided to help them out. And so every day that I wear a new Star Wars apparel item and keep this streak going is another $4.65 raised from my pledge makers that have been with me all throughout the year. And then we've also raised about $2,000 so far through the GoFundMe in one-time donations and through other donations, checks and employee match type things.
Awesome.
Wow.
Now, do you have like a personal connection to this charity, or why did you choose this particular one?
Well, I found out about them through my wife's cousin, who went to Jordan working for the Red Cross, and she learned about them and got involved with them, and she currently sits on their board. And so, she's been helped me connect with them, and they've been very appreciative of the work that I've been doing to raise money for them and also raise awareness about their organization.
And do people over there call you James Jawa, or do they call you James?
I think they call me Jawa James, or the James. I don't know. But it's been pretty cool that I've even gotten. I found a shirt company in Jordan that has done a couple, cool Star Wars designs, and so I've gotten a couple Jordanian T-shirts that one has BB-8 on it, and one has the Return of the Jedi logo in Arabic on it, and it even kind of makes a little bit of a pun in the colloquial Arabic of Jordan.
Wow. So you said that you don't only wear T-shirts, you wear other apparel items.
Button-downs
what is the most interesting apparel that you have worn?
Oh, most interesting. I've worn a full variety of stuff. I've worn, shirts and hats, and even a belt. I think a couple weeks ago I wore a belt that had Chewbacca on the belt buckle. It's him riding a bicycle wearing a messenger bag.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah. Kind of random, but it was pretty cool. I've worn 1 week I did a whole week of just Her Universe tops.
Nice.
and use that to highlight the different women's programs that Collateral Repair Project does. 1 week I wore a streak of clothes from Baby Jawa, a bunch of onesies and a baby shirt, and so I just kind of put those on over my head.
I remember that week. You were tweeting out about that.
Okay, so you're not just stuck on T-shirts. You can wear anything.
Any Star Wars apparel that's basically clothing, or I'll also do costume things. My friend Todd lent me his biker scout armor and helped me kit up in it one day.
Wow.
And so that was really cool. For day 66, I put on my Jedi robes and pretended to be a former Order 66 Jedi. It's really great that a lot of friends have chipped in. I've had a couple friends here in San Diego that have lent me like 2 or 3 weeks worth of shirts at a time, and I'm still going through. My friend Paul, who's in the 501st, lent me a big stack of 501st wear, and I'm still going through it.
Now, feel free not to answer this question, but do Star Wars adult underoos count?
They would count. I would probably not wear them unless they were brand new. For stuff that gets lent or donated to me, I kind of drew the line at swimwear and underwear.
You know what, James, hold on 1 second. Hey, Sarah, never mind. He doesn't want them.
But I've worn her universe the lightsaber skirt.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, you're the man.
Yeah, I've worn a New Hope poster dress. I wore that during Star Wars Celebration Europe. So pretty much anything else that's clothing is up for grabs and available. I decided not to do accessories, so no watches or jewelry, because that isn't as photogenic, I think.
Now, please tell me somewhere you have every single day posted with what you're wearing.
Yes, if you go visit our Wear Star Wars Everyday Facebook page, which is Wear Star Wars Every Day on Facebook, you can go in and there's a photo album there that has everything I've worn so far posted day by day. I posted each day holding up a sign telling you what day number it is. Also, I post it every day on Twitter, so if you use the hashtag Wear Star Wars Every Day, you can go back through and see the different things that I've worn. But there's an album on the Facebook page that is pretty easy to get to.
Oh, there you are. We got it.
225 photos so far.
Wow, look at you.
Yep.
That is a proud young man there.
Yeah. Oh, you're wearing your daughter's beanie in one of them. R2 beanie.
There you are with her universe Princess Leia sweatshirt with hair buns.
Yep, the Princess Leia hoodie I wore. I borrowed that from my wife, and I wore that on our anniversary.
Aww.
There you are with your face covered with your daughter's R2-D2 onesie and Ahsoka onesie and Star Wars logo onesie, and wow.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, would wearing a Skywalking Through Neverland t-shirt help?
Absolutely. I believe I've even worn a Skywalking Through Neverland shirt. That I like to especially support the different fan efforts, the different clubs, the podcasts, websites, wearing their logo gear. So yeah, definitely. I have a database here.
I think you did.
Well, you know what? After we're done here, go ahead and shoot us over your address, and you could have a new surprise coming your way. And it could tie into what you did last week or what you were honored with last week.
A new surprise. Oh. Okay, so if you look at, I think it's maybe day 189
yes.
That Margaret Mays lent me her Skywalking Through Neverland BB-8 logo shirt.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this looks like a woman's cut.
That's cute. Aw.
That is awesome.
Well, thanks, Margaret. Wow.
You'll have one of your own.
Oh, well, very cool. Just as long as it's not the same design.
No.
But if if it's on a different color shirt, that's a different design then. So there's been a couple where it's if it's the same kind of art design, but it's on a different color, that counts as a different shirt.
Do you have any vintage shirts?
Yeah. One of the shirts a friend of mine, Beth Dibble, loaned me was a vintage 1977 shirt. It was kind of on a, let's see if I can.
I'm talking like the 1977-78 iron-ons.
There we go. It was maybe day 68 or so, I think. It was a 1977 Hildebrandt art on a red ringer tee that she let me borrow that, and when I put it on, I was very careful just to basically just wear it for the picture and take it off because I didn't want to stretch it out.
Right.
You know what? I didn't notice that at first because it's all faded, so you really know it's from 1977.
Yeah, well, she told me, and then I often look at the tags and everything, and yeah, that it's really cool when people tell me the history of a particular item that they loan me, just so I can talk about it a little bit more. And I usually try and look up who makes it, so if people want to acquire one, if it's a more recent vintage, then they can at least track down the company that made it.
Oh, there you are with some sweatpants.
Oh yeah, there's those Darth Maul sweatpants that my friend PG let me borrow.
And a tie.
Yeah, you wearing a tie.
Oh yeah, that I think I wore that I forget why I picked that day. I think it might have been a formal day or something. Maybe it was Easter, so I needed to dress up.
Nice.
That is awesome. So if the Skywalkers out there want to help you and donate a t-shirt or some money, where can they go?
The best place that they can go, if you go to clubj.net, where that's a site that I write for, and just kind of go into the little search box on the side and type in "Where Star Wars Every Day." You'll come up with the tag, and you'll see my weekly recap videos. And in that, in each weekly recap video, there's a link to just the general information page, and I'll also give you that page to post in the show notes.
Absolutely.
And that has the information on where you can donate to the GoFundMe. If you want to write a check, you can do that as well. And of course, if you want to send me some clothing, I'm going to be at Salt Lake Comic-Con in early September. So if any Skywalkers out there are listening and are going to Salt Lake Comic-Con, definitely get in contact with me and we can meet up and we can either take the picture on the site if it's something that you don't want to part with, or if it's something that you want to let me borrow and then send back to you, I can do that as well. And I will wash your clothes afterwards too.
Wow, such service. Well, I do want to point out that actually on Twitter at James Jawa, you have the link right in your profile to the GoFundMe page.
There we go. And that has most of the information there.
Okay.
And that's certainly set up that people can figure out the basics. And I haven't looked at the GoFundMe page in a while to see what it actually says about how to help me.
It does. It says everything.
Other than give me money.
Right.
Well, and the thing is, the money's not even going to me. It's going straight to collateral repair projects. So
okay.
That, they get it and they can use it right away. And, it's simple as a $20 donation is enough to provide a mattress for a refugee. And so, every little bit helps. And
do you have a dollar amount that you're gunning for?
Well, at the beginning of the year when I set this up, I decided to go, why not go big and make a goal of $10,000? And right now, if you look at the GoFundMe, it's at $1,700. So, but hopefully, as I narrow down on the end of the year, I hope that people will say, wow, this has been almost a whole year. I'm more willing to chip in now than just like, oh, he's only doing it for a month. So hopefully we'll kind of pick up some steam here.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Skywalkers will hear this and hopefully donate a buck or two that at least.
Come on, Skywalkers.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Well, I want to say that one of the first donations I got of a shirt was from a Skywalker.
Oh,
really? Who was it?
Yeah, a Skywalker named Colby donated a shirt back when you guys did the meetup at the Star Wars half in January. You had a meetup, and one of the Skywalkers said he'd gotten an extra shirt, due to the company mixing up the sizes or something, and so they let him keep it, and so he gave it to me, and so thanks, Colby.
Well, that's amazing.
Wow, that is great.
Yay.
I love our Skywalker family.
Yeah, lots of good people.
All right.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap things up?
I just really appreciate that you guys are helping me spread the word about this, helping Collateral Repair Project out. And just come visit Where Star Wars Every Day on Facebook, or check out the hashtag on Twitter and visit the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is at gofundme.com/Where Star Wars 2016.
And James, you mentioned, I believe, that you're going to have some kind of like in August. Isn't there some kind of promotion?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
There is a big promotion for August. So yeah, all the Skywalkers want to pay attention to this. I've got a couple cool prizes that I'm giving out just to encourage some donations and such.
Because you went to Star Wars Celebration Europe, correct?
I did. I went to Star Wars Celebration Europe, and I went to San Diego Comic-Con, and I brought back some cool swag. One thing is pretty much open to anyone. You don't even have to donate to earn it. All you have to do is like the Wear Star Wars Everyday Facebook page and then share on your page one of the daily photos from August, and you could win a Rusty Droid bottle opener from Celebration Europe. It's got a picture of Gonk on it, kind of as if it was a bar named the Rusty Droid in typical British pub style.
Aww.
I also have a crew shirt from Star Wars Celebration Europe. It's a size large, and goes to a random person who donates any amount during August or is set up as a monthly or per day pledge maker on the online form that I have set up. So, just chip in any amount and you'd be put in the running for a Star Wars Celebration crew shirt. And then finally, the thing that I think most people are most excited in is an advanced proof copy of Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston, and that will go out to anyone who donates $25 or more in August on the GoFundMe.
I'm reading that book right now, and it is awesome. I love it.
And I recently found out that she's going to be at Salt Lake Comic-Con, the author, and so the uncorrected advanced proof copy may end up being a signed copy.
Whoa!
When that gets sent out, I hope to get it signed, and that would be something cool. And I may add some more prizes as we go. Yesterday, I wore a BB-8 thumbs up shirt that I got at Star Wars Celebration Europe. It ended up, when I looked at it after I got it, turned out to be a women's cut. So if there's any ladies out there that want to get their hands on probably one of the best selling shirts at the Celebration store, I think it's a size medium. So I will be putting up a way to win that or get your hands on that probably in the next week or so.
And if people want to donate a t-shirt to you, what size do you like?
Large is fine, but I'll wear anything, from kid sizes to women's small to, I've worn, I think, some
baby clothes,
2XL to even 3XL stuff. If I can somehow figure out how to get it on my body, I'll wear it.
That's awesome. Wow.
There's an image. All right. James, thank you very much for everything you're doing for the fan community. And whenever someone talks about the fan community, I love telling everyone about all the charity drives people like yourselves just put all your attention and focus into to help raise money for people they don't even know. So thank you. Thank you from all the Skywalkers.
Well, thank you, Rich and Sarah. I may the force be with all of you guys.
And with you, and never against you.
That wraps up episode 134 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We would like to thank Rob Dellinger, Randy Crane, and David Aicher for his Skywalker story, and James Floyd.
And now, if anyone else out there has a Skywalker story just like David Aicher, always love to hear them. We want to hear a very passionate story about something that happened to you in your fandom. Love to hear that. Something you can tell within 5 or 6 minutes. Whether it's meeting a celebrity at a Star Wars convention or visiting a Disneyland park, something that really gets you excited. Also, we're looking for just moments.
Yes.
Something like you can record in a minute and send to us. Like, hey, I just got on Star Tours and I was the Rebel Spy.
Woohoo! And I got it over a kid, or my kid was the Rebel Spy.
Something, something, it's a moment. It's a little moment in your fandom.
Just a little moment, and what we're going to use those as kind of little transitional things within our show. So we would love to see that. We would love to hear about seeing Empire 26 times at the Dedham Cinema. Oh,
wait, who was that?
That was Carol, who won the thing. The
Dedham. Carol, do you live in Dedham? Dedham, Mass?
We've been there.
Yeah, I used to work in Dedham at the Hilton at Dedham Place.
Wow. She derailed our show because of this.
I grew up in West. Oh, I didn't. I grew up in Newton, representing. So if you have a Skywalker story, go ahead and email us a little summary. Or if you have a recorded Skywalker moment, go ahead and email that to us as well.
That's right. You can email us, share@skywalkingthrough neverland.com. and we will schedule a recording, or we'll just have your moment to use in our show.
Now, we are part of the RetroZap.com network, where you can find awesome shows like Brews and Blasters, Deuce Cast Movie Show,
Techno Retro Dads,
and Talking Apes TV, which should be out next week.
That's right. All right, Skywalkers. And you can also help support the show by going to TeePublic. Well, technically, by going to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and clicking on the Support Us tab, where you can find links to TeePublic, where we have about 10 different t-shirt designs, and we also have a link to her universe as well, so if you're shopping there. And now you can support Rob Dellinger, who has been doing all these awesome jingles for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And you can buy the album, Skywalking Through Neverland Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1.
Available at cdbaby.com.
It's only $7.99.
And next week at all the digital, what do you call them, outlets.
Yes, the full digital release happens next week. So it'll be available everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play Music, everywhere. It's very exciting.
And watch out for Sarah's new Halloween design for her new TeePublic shirt.
What? Okay. All right, my Halloween design. Okay, I'll get right on that.
Put that on your to-do list.
Okay, I will.
All right, 'cause we kind of missed the boat for our summer T-shirt.
Design?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Okay.
This is me pressuring you to doing a Halloween shirt.
Okay. It'll be done by mid-September. How about that?
No, sooner.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
good deal.
Pumpkin BB. Pumpkin BB-8.
All right, now, with that, always remember
That we need to tell about our social media.
Yes, we do. That's what I was leading into. What are you leading into?
Well, our social media, you guys can keep the conversation going all through the week. And we are at Skywalking Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and Snapchat. We also have our Facebook group, so please request to join that. Or if you're already there, thank you. And you can email us, share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
And reminding people who haven't already, we'd love to hear your iTunes reviews.
Yes.
So please send that in. So I can tell you to give us a 5-star review. We want you to be completely honest with your star rating and your review.
That's right.
6 stars, someone says. Give us 6 stars, too.
Thank you, Carol.
Perfect. So
Okay.
until next week, where we have a big guest coming your way, always remember...
Neverland on Alderaan.
Some imagination, huh?
To our Skywalkers and Tweetwalkers, thanks for listening. Skywalking Through Neverland is created and produced by Richard and Sarah Woloski. Original music by Rob Dellinger. Creative consultant Mark Augushowitz. Technical advisor Peter Heitman. Facebook administrators Donald Wicks, Joey Pittman, and Norma Heitman.
Skywalking Through Neverland is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds, music, and clips played during this podcast are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is property of Skywalking Through Neverland, all rights reserved. Sorry, had to be said.
Nailed it, says Carol. Cool.
I'm not happy until I do a take 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay. Did you read this at all? You ready?
Shout-outs.
Skywalker Shout-Outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland. Oh.
I know.
Okay.
Guess which one's the singer? The newly released Skywalking Through Neverland Awesome Jingles Volume 1 by Rob Dellinger.
Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1.
Yes. And now let's hear from James Floyd on our 0.5. Oh, yeah. Oops. I guess we won't.
All right.
And see if you can bump up the energy to an 8.2. Wherever your fandom lies, chances are you have a story to tell.
In our continuing Skywalker Story series, we now hear from David Aicher.
Wait, hold on. Is it
You know
Aicher
what?
or
I
Aicher?
know. Now I don't know.
It's Aicher.
Oh, it's
I said it right.
Yes.
On September 17th through 22nd, 2015.
2017.
I mean, what the heck? Let me try
Boy,
that
are
again.
we late.
Wow.
We
Yeah.
better get on this.
Oh, goodness. All right.
So we're going to take a TARDIS to the cruise.
Randy Crane is here now to update us with some... Randy Crane is here with us now. One more time. Randy Crane is here now. Wait a minute. Is here with us now. Okay.
Perhaps themed or something is going to be announced later, something is going to be announced.
Oh, there you go. That was
Nice.
pretty complete and thorough.
Yeah, I thought so.
Awesome.
I saw the questions. Like, I'm gonna have to talk fast.
All right. So this is in things we want to share. Things we want to share.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
That's on there.
Yeah.
You guys singing it is on there.
Oh, nice. Cool.
All right. Well, you go take care of baby Jawa.
Yep.
Tell her we
All
said
right.
Utini.
All right. I don't know if she quite gets that yet, but she knows who BB-8 and Chewbacca and R2-D2 are. Those are her favorites.
Aw.
So, what is the passion with the Jawas? Just because it's a what do you call it? The alliteration with your name?
It's an alliteration, but 21 years ago now, I was an exchange student in Hong Kong, and this was right when Power of the Force action figures were coming back. When Kenner was coming back, and so Hong Kong was getting the figures a little bit before they were arriving in America.
Ooh.
And so I set up, online on Usenet that I would, buy figures for people at the local toy stores and ship them to wherever in the world.
Boy.
And
Oh boy.
so I was a Jawa trader. So I originally went by Jawa Jim, and then I realized that I never go by Jim in real life, so I changed it to Jawa James, and have been Jawa James ever since. That on pretty much on all the Star Wars message boards and everything that was Jawa James. And then when I signed up for Twitter, Jawa James was taken. There's it's taken by somebody who, because in Indonesian, Jawa is another word for Java, the island.
Oh.
So I think it's an Indonesian guy that doesn't ever post, and I think just follows one person. And so I don't even know if the account's active, but if you're out there, Jawa James on Twitter, please think about letting me claim it, because I'm James Jawa on Twitter. And so everyone, now calls me James Jawa. I'm like, it is what it is.
Very nice. This is going to be a lot of little episode, a
lot of segments.
A lot of segments this week, guys.
Yes.
Very exciting.
All right.
Beep beep, says Joey. Are we on the wrap up already?
On the wrap up already?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thanks, Skywalkers, for sticking around for all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. I will start.
Okay. That wrap. Go ahead. That wrap. Go ahead.
You were doing it yourself.
No. Yeah. That wraps. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can't do it now.
Neverland on Alderaan.
That didn't sound very good. Let's do a different outro.
Okay.
What should we say, Skywalker?
Never surf on Alderaan, Michael Nip says.
I like it. Oh, that's really cool.
Neverland
on
on Alderaan, or...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I missed it too.
No, he missed it because he just joined.
Oh.
That's really cool. Well, thank you for joining us.
Never
You can join us for
heard.
this after show.
In Neverland at Mammoth Studios.
Oh, yes. Oh, look at my pretty nails. I'm such a girl. I did my nails.
She's been showing everyone. Oh, let's go ahead and pause that now.
Okay, we'll pause.